White House Easter Egg Roll is an annual event held on the White House lawn in Washington, D.C., typically the day after Easter Sunday. It is one of the oldest annual events in White House history, dating back to 1878, when President Rutherford B. Hayes hosted the first official Easter Egg Roll. The event typically involves children rolling Easter eggs across the White House lawn with long-handled spoons. In addition to the egg rolling, there are often other activities such as egg hunts, musical performances, storytelling, and appearances by costume characters. The event is open to children ages 13 and under and their families, with tickets distributed through an online lottery system. Ahead of this year's annual White House Easter Egg Roll, PETA, the organization that euthanizes countless animals, sent a letter to Dr. Jill Biden asking the First Lady to modernize the celebration by replacing eggs with dyed Easter potatoes. Hopefully, Jill Biden told them to go F themselves. Autism Awareness Day is observed annually on April 2nd. It is a day dedicated to raising awareness about autism spectrum disorder. The United Nations General Assembly declared April 2nd as World Autism Awareness Day. That was done in 2007 with the goal of drawing attention to the growing prevalence of autism and support for individuals with autism and their families. Autism, or autism spectrum disorder, ASD, is a complex neurodevelopmental condition characterized by challenges with social interaction, communication, and repetitive behaviors. It is considered a spectrum disorder because it affects individuals differently and to varying degrees. The exact cause of autism is not fully understood, but it is believed to involve a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Researchers have identified a number of genes associated with autism, and certain environmental factors such as prenatal exposure to certain drugs or toxins may also play a role. Pony Express Day commemorates the operation of the Pony Express, a historic mail delivery service in the United States. The Pony Express was a relay system of horseback riders who carried mail across the American West, providing a rapid communication link between the East and West Coast during the mid-19th century. Pony Express Day is celebrated annually on April 3rd, marking the date when the Pony Express service began operations in 1860. The Pony Express was established by the Central Overland California and Pikes Peak Express Company, which aimed to provide a faster mail delivery service than the existing overland stagecoach and telegraph lines. The route stretched approximately 1,900 miles from St. Joseph, Missouri to Sacramento, California, and employed skilled riders who traveled day and night, covering long distances in a remarkably short amount of time. The Pony Express operated for only about 18 months until the completion of the transcontinental telegraph. This day is self-explanatory. National Walk Around Things Day is observed annually on April 4th. The day serves as a reminder that sometimes the most straightforward solution isn't always the best one, and encourages flexibility and open-mindedness in approaching challenges. Think out of the box and not always take the same route. This day can be reflected both figuratively and literally. See an asshole at work you don't want to deal with today? Go out of your way to walk around things to avoid having to interact with them. If they happen to follow you, take the most illogical path. Make them walk around things. Celebrating National Walk Around Things Day can be as simple as taking a moment to reflect on situations where you might have to approach a problem differently, or encouraging others to consider alternative solutions, or perhaps just take the day for a break away from the mundane. It's okay to spend some time away from your problems. Walk around them today. You have my permission. Put your big boy and big girl pants on this April 5th. Your bell-bottom pants. Bell-bottoms, also known as flares, are a style of trousers that fit through the hips and thighs and then flare out from the knees downwards. Bell-bottoms have their roots in the uniforms worn by sailors in the early 19th century. These trousers were designed to be easily rolled up while sailors worked on the deck of a ship and were wide enough to be pulled over boots. Bell-bottoms have also been worn for centuries by European carpenters, which is explained by the fact that the widening legs prevent sawdust from falling onto their shoes or feet. Bell-bottoms gained popularity in the civilian world during the mid-20th century. In the 1960s, they became associated with the counterculture movement, particularly with the hippie subculture. Peace, dude. Bell-bottoms reached the height of their popularity in the 1970s. They were worn by both men and women and became a staple of fashion during the disco era. Defense Test Day was a holiday celebrated twice on September 12th of 1924 and July 4th of 1925. It was a product of the War Department with the support of then-President Calvin Coolidge and was designated as a day of patriotism. The holiday marked the 12th anniversary of the day the United States entered World War I on April 6th of 1917. After Congress disallowed any further observance of this day, Colonel Thatcher Leclerc established Army Day to be celebrated on May 1st of 1929. This was in hopes of dampening another celebration by communists, which was called Workers' Day, and they celebrated that on the same day. On April 4th of 1936, President Roosevelt issued a proclamation that Army Day be recognized by Congress as April 6th and observed nationwide. In 1949, official celebration was phased out with the advent of Armed Forces Day, which is the third Saturday in May, and the common observation of the U.S. Army birthday, which is June 14th.
Nice beaver.
Thank you.
International Beaver Day is a recognized observance celebrated on April 7th each year. International Beaver Day got its start in 2009 when the group Beavers, Wetlands and Wildlife decided a day would be useful for raising public awareness about the beaver. April 7th was chosen as the date for the holiday because it marks the birthday of Dorothy Richards, popularly known as the Beaver Woman, who was born in 1894. Richards engaged in the study of beavers for 50 years of her life. Beavers are semi-aquatic rodents found in the temperate northern hemisphere in countries like Canada, Poland, Germany, France, central Russia, and southern Scandinavia, among others, the United States, of course. Beavers are known for their remarkable engineering abilities as they build dams, lodges, and canals that create habitat for themselves and other species. It's finally here! Now I can stop hearing about it every single day. A solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes between Earth and the sun, thereby obscuring the view of the sun from a small part of the Earth, totally or partially. On average, there are 2.38 solar eclipses each year. What makes this solar eclipse so special? Well, this is a total solar eclipse, and it's the path it's taking. The total solar eclipse on April 8th of 2024 is expected to be visible across parts of North America, including Mexico, the United States, and Canada. This eclipse is generating significant interest because it will traverse a path from the southwestern to the northeastern United States. Cities like Dallas, Texas, Indianapolis, Indiana, Cleveland, Ohio, and Buffalo, New York are among the areas where observers will be able to experience totality. There won't be another U.S. eclipse spanning coast to coast until 2045. If you are excited, then cool. Go out and have a good time. Wear your glasses. National Unicorn Day is celebrated on April 9th each year. This whimsical observance honors the mythical creature known as the unicorn, which has been a symbol of beauty, purity, and magic in various cultures throughout history. The unicorn is a mythical creature often depicted as a horse-like animal with a single spiraling horn projecting from its forehead. The unicorn's origins can be traced back to ancient Mesopotamian and Indus Valley civilizations, where it was often depicted in art and mythology. According to medieval legends, only a virgin could capture a unicorn, and its horn, known as the Ulicorn, was believed to have the power to neutralize poisons, possess healing powers, and the ability to purify water. Unicorns have remained popular figures in literature, art, and popular culture throughout history. They have appeared in numerous works of fiction, including fairy tales, fantasy novels, and films, where they are often depicted as magical, mystical creatures with enchanting powers. National Hug Your Dog Day is a lighthearted observance celebrated on April 10th each year. It's a day dedicated to showing appreciation and affection for our canine companions by giving them extra love and attention in the form of hugs. Dogs are known for their loyalty, companionship, and unconditional love, and this day serves as a reminder to cherish and celebrate the special bond between humans and dogs. On National Hug Your Dog Day, dog owners may take their furry friends for an extra long walk, spoil them with treats and toys, or simply spend quality time cuddling and snuggling with them. While National Hug Your Dog Day is not a widely recognized or officially established as some other holidays, it has gained popularity through social media and pet-loving communities. With many people enthusiastically participating in the celebration each year, it's a fun and heartwarming occasion that brings joy to both dogs and their human companions. Aw, now I want a hug. Louie Louie Day is celebrated on April 11th each year. It commemorates the release of the song Louie Louie by the Kingsmen in 1963. The song, originally written by Richard Berry in 1955, became widely popular and has since been covered by numerous artists. In 1964, the Federal Bureau of Investigation launched an investigation into the lyrics of the song after receiving complaints from concerned parents about its supposed obscenity. The lyrics of Louie Louie were notoriously difficult to understand in the Kingsmen's version due to the vocalist's mumbled delivery and the poor quality of the recording. This led to rumors and speculation that the lyrics were obscene or contained hidden messages, when in fact they were innocuous. Despite the investigation, which included a 2-year examination of the song's lyrics by the FBI, no evidence of obscenity was found, and the song was ultimately deemed not to be obscene. Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day is celebrated on April 12th each year. This simple yet delicious dish consists of melted cheese between 2 slices of buttered bread, grilled until golden browned and crispy. The grilled cheese sandwich gained widespread popularity in the 20th century, thanks in part to advancements in food production and the availability of sliced bread and processed cheese. During the Great Depression, grilled cheese sandwiches became a comfort food for many Americans due to their affordability and simplicity. Grilled cheese sandwiches were a common ration for soldiers during World War II, as they were easy to prepare and transport. In the modern world, gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches featuring artisanal bread and a variety of cheese, meats, vegetables, and condiments have become a staple in many restaurants and food trucks. It ain't easy being cheesy on Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day. Actually, it's very easy.
It's good.
For your ass, it's good. Can you turn that down, please?
The Songkran Water Festival is a traditional Thai New Year celebration that takes place annually from April 13th to the 15th. It is one of the most important festivals in Thailand and is celebrated with great enthusiasm throughout the country. The main highlight of the Songkran Festival is the water fights that take place in the streets. People armed with water guns, buckets, and hoses splash water on each other as a way to symbolically cleanse away the past year's misfortunes and welcome the new year with fresh beginnings. Aside from the water fights, the Songkran Festival also involves visiting temples to make merit, offering food to monks, and paying respects to elders by pouring scented water over their hands as a gesture of blessing and good luck. In recent years, the Songkran Water Festival has also become a major tourist attraction, drawing visitors from around the world who come to experience the vibrant celebrations and join in the water festivities. Pan American Day is observed by several countries in North and South America, celebrated annually. This day commemorates the first International Conference of American States, which concluded on April 14th of 1890, creating the International Union of American Republics, the forerunner to the Organization of American States. The name was changed to the Organization of American States in 1948. The idea of Pan American Day was first proposed at the 6th International Conference of American States in 1928 to promote goodwill and understanding among the countries of the Americas. President Herbert Hoover declared the first official National Pan American Day on April 14th of 1931. Pan American Day was officially declared as a national holiday by President Barack Obama in 2015. Today, this organization of states includes 35 independent states coming from North America, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean. Rubber Eraser Day is celebrated on April 15th each year. This day commemorates the invention of the rubber eraser, a tool that has become essential for correcting mistakes made while writing or drawing. April 15th, 1770, Joseph Priestley founded a vegetable gum to remove pencil marks. He dubbed the substance rubber. While Presley may have discovered rubber's erasing properties, Edward Nairn is credited with developing and marketing the first rubber eraser in Europe. Nairn accidentally picked up a piece of rubber instead of breadcrumbs to erase a pencil mark, and he found that the rubber was much more effective at removing the mark without damaging the paper. Wait a minute, breadcrumbs? Yes, breadcrumbs were used to erase pencil marks decades ago. Nairn began selling rubber erasers as novelty items, and they quickly gained popularity as essential tools for writers, artists, and students instead of breadcrumbs. These early rubber erasers had a significant drawback: they were perishable. Enter an engineer and a chemist named Charles Goodyear, who revolutionized the rubber industry with his vulcanization process in 1839, receiving his patent from the U.S. Patent Office in 1844. This process made gum elastic or natural rubber durable and resistant to environmental factors. With this technology, Goodyear created a way for the rubber eraser to become a staple in every school child's pencil case. 1858, Hyman Lipman patented the pencil with an eraser at the end. Over the years, rubber erasers have evolved. Today you can find them in various shapes, sizes, and colors. Some are loose erasers and others remain attached to the ends of the pencils. Their invention changed the world of writing and stationery and significantly reduced paper waste. The usefulness of erasers make them an eco-friendly tool in the fight against errors. What did the rubber eraser say to the pencil? You may leave your mark, but I'm the one who cleans up your mess. Oh, that's a deep cut. National Librarian Day is celebrated on April 16th. It was established in 1958 by librarians who wanted to recognize their profession. The role of librarians and the concept of libraries have evolved over thousands of years. The earliest known libraries date back to ancient civilizations such as Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, and Rome. These libraries housed clay tablets, papyrus scrolls, and other early forms of written records, serving as repositories to knowledge and centers of learning. During the Middle Ages, monasteries and religious institutions were centers of scholarship and literacy in Europe. Monastic libraries preserved and copied manuscripts, contributing to the transmission of knowledge and the preservation of classical texts. The invention of the printing press in the 15th century revolutionized the production and dissemination of books. Public and private libraries flourished during the Renaissance and Enlightenment periods, reflecting the growing importance of education, science, and humanism. The modern concept of the library as a public institution providing free access to books and information emerged in the 19th century. Libraries played a crucial role in promoting literacy, education, and civic engagement, particularly during periods of social and economic change. The late 19th and early 20th centuries saw the professionalization of librarianship as a distinct profession. Library schools were established and librarians began to receive formal training in cataloging, classification, reference services, and library management. The 20th century brought significant technological advancements that transformed libraries and librarianship. The introduction of the Dewey Decimal Classification System, the Library of Congress Classification System, and online cataloging systems revolutionized library organization and access to information. The advent of the internet and digital technologies in the late 20th and early 21st centuries revolutionized information, retrieval, and access. Librarians adapted to these changes by offering digital resources, online databases, and information literacy programs to help users navigate the digital landscape. Throughout history, librarians have played a crucial role in preserving and disseminating knowledge, promoting literacy and education, and providing access to information for all members of society. Today, librarians continue to serve as information professionals, educators, and community leaders, adapting to evolving technologies and societal needs while upholding the core values of intellectual freedom, equitable access, and lifelong learning. I couldn't read that again if I tried. Librarians and libraries will continue to embrace digitalization, offering ebooks, audiobooks, digital magazines, and access to online databases. They will also incorporate emerging technologies like virtual reality, augmented reality, and artificial intelligence to enhance user experience and provide innovative services. The future's gonna be crazy. The first time National Kickball Day was observed was on April 17th of 2015, launched by the World Adult Kickball Association. The World Adult Kickball Association is the largest organization that sanctions adult kickball, a recreational sport with rules and regulations established by the WAKA. WAKA was founded in Washington, D.C. in 1998 and now has leagues in over 35 states, as well as countries such as India. Kickball was founded by Nicholas Seuss in 1917 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Kickball is a fun sport enjoyed by people of all ages. Like baseball, two teams compete for points by running around the bases to earn those points. Originally called kick baseball, the game was used by physical education teachers to teach school children the basics of the game of baseball, but with less equipment and fewer opportunities for injury. Kickball has grown in popularity around the world due to its simplicity. In Japan, the game kickball is played by elementary school students and translated as kickbase. National Piñata Day is observed on April 18th each year. It is typically suspended from above and then broken open by blindfolded individuals who take turns hitting it with a stick or bat with the goal of releasing the treats hidden inside. The concept of the piñata is believed to have originated in China, where it was associated with the New Year celebration. Early piñatas were shaped like animals such as cows or buffaloes and were decorated with colorful paper. The tradition of piñatas was brought to Europe by Marco Polo in the 13th century. It spread across the continent, evolving along the way. Spanish missionaries later brought the piñata tradition to the Americas. They used it as a tool to attract indigenous people to their religious celebrations, often incorporating Christian symbolism into the piñatas. The piñata became particularly popular in Mexico, where it was adapted and incorporated into local festivals such as Las Pasados, Christmas celebrations, birthdays, and other special occasions. Created by Fritz Freleng and voiced by Mel Blanc, Sylvester James Pussycat Sr. made his debut appearance in the March 24, 1945 animated short film Life with Feathers. Sylvester the Cat is a fictional character and anthropomorphic tuxedo cat. Sylvester's name is a play on the word Felis sylvestris, which is a scientific name for the wild cat species, although Sylvester is a domestic cat. Before the Looney Tunes character came to life, cartoon great Mel Blanc spoke with Sylvester's signature style of speech when voicing a different character on the comedy radio series The Judy Canova Show. Sylvester's first official appearance with Tweety Bird was in the 1947 short Tweety Pie. Sylvester and Tweety became one of the most well-known pairings in Looney Tunes history next to Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. Some of their cartoons have won or were nominated for Academy Awards. Now, why is Sylvester Cat's birthday April 19th, 1966? I couldn't find an exact reason why. Perhaps the die-hard fans out there can clue me in. The concept of Record Store Day was created during a brainstorming session at a meeting of independent record store owners in Baltimore, Maryland. The idea was to bring together fans, artists, and thousands of independent record stores around the world. Record Store Day was officially founded in 2007, with hundreds of recording and other artists participating in the day by making special appearances, performances, meeting and greeting with their fans, the holding of fundraisers for community nonprofits, and issuing of special vinyl and CD releases, along with other promotional offerings to mark the occasion. With the rise of the radio and the popularity of jazz and big band music in the early 1900s, record stores began to flourish. They offered a wide range of records, including popular artists of the time. The advent of vinyl records and the explosion of rock and roll music led to a boom in record store culture. Independent record stores became hubs for music enthusiasts, where they could discover new artists, purchase records, and engage with like-minded individuals. World Curlew Day is a global awareness day on April 21st that raises awareness of the curlew's plight and encourages activities to help them. The day was created by Mary Cowell in 2017 and is supported by major environmental organizations. Historically, curlews were hunted for their meat and feathers. Their long, curved bills were sometimes used in traditional crafts or as decorative items. In some cultures, curlew hunting was a significant activity, especially during migration seasons. Over the past century, many species of curlews have faced population declines due to habitat loss, pollution, climate change, and hunting pressure. Conservation efforts have been initiated to protect critical habitats, raise awareness, and implement measures to mitigate threats to curlews worldwide. Curlews have been depicted in art, literature, and folklore across cultures. In paintings, poems, and stories, curlews often symbolize themes such as freedom, solitude, and the beauty of nature. National Pinup Day is held every April 22nd annually since 2019, brought to us by Mission Tattoo in Santa Barbara, California. The concept of pinup girls can be traced back to the late 19th century with the advent of mass-produced images, particularly through the rise of illustrated magazines and posters. These early pinup images often featured idolized depictions of women in various states of undress, designed to appeal to male audiences. Hubba hubba. The true golden age of pinup began in the 1920s and flourished throughout the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. During this time, pinup girls became synonymous with glamour, sensuality, and fantasy. Pinup girls gained widespread popularity during World War II, where they became an important morale booster for soldiers. Pinup images were often featured in military barracks, on aircraft, and in magazines like Esquire and Playboy. The most famous pinup model of this era was arguably Betty Grable, whose poster from the film Pinup Girl became an iconic image of the time. On this day in merry Shakespearean's name, we honor him whose words ignite the flame. Shakespeare Day, also known as William Shakespeare Day or Shakespeare's birthday, is an observance that commemorates the birth and legacy of the renowned English playwright and poet. While the exact date of Shakespeare's birth is not known, it is traditionally celebrated on April 23rd, based on the date of his baptism, which took place on April 26th of 1564. His works are timeless treasures of English literature, from tragic tales like Hamlet and Romeo and Juliet to comedies like A Midsummer Night's Dream and Twelfth Night. Shakespeare's plays explore the depths of human emotion and experience. His poetry, particularly his sonnets, also captivate readers with their beauty and complexity. Shakespeare's influence on literature, theater, and even the English language itself is immeasurable. His words continue to resonate with audiences around the world centuries after his death. National Skipping Day is celebrated on April 24th, and it recognizes the benefits of skipping, such as improving coordination, balance, and strengthening muscles and bones. The ancient Egyptians used vines to jump as a training regimen for conditioning routines. Chinese rope makers invented a game called 100 Rope Jumping to celebrate the new year. In this game, 3 or more players used a string of rubber bands tied into a circle to perform various tasks that increased difficulty as the string rose from ankle heights. Dutch colonists brought the 2-rope version of rope skipping from Africa to America and called it doubled Dutch. In the 1930s, jump rope and double Dutch became popular in black communities, specifically among girls. Girls had less of an opportunity to play sports, and they became highly skilled at the game. Jumping rope is a fantastic way to get the heart pumping and burn calories. So if you're looking for a quick and enjoyable workout, take the advice and get out there and jump that rope. License Plate Day is celebrated annually on April 25th to recognize the first license plate issued in the U.S., which was in 1901. The first license plates were introduced in France in 1893. These plates were initially only required for motor vehicles that exceeded a certain weight limit. The early vehicle or license plates were often made of leather, wood, or metal, and they typically featured the owner's initials or a unique identifier. In 1901, New York became the first state to issue a license plate on vehicles after Governor Benjamin Odile Jr. signed a new bill into law that required motor vehicle owners to be registered with the state. George F. Chamberlain is credited as the first person to receive a license plate for his vehicle. Massachusetts was the first state to require vehicles to display license plates in 1903. As the number of vehicles on the roads increased, states began to adopt standardized license plate designs and numbering systems to improve uniformity and regulation. Do you like to breathe? Is breathing your thing? Then you like trees. National Arbor Day is a day dedicated to celebrating trees and encouraging tree planting and conservation efforts. Arbor Day was first proposed by Julia Sterling Morton, a Nebraska journalist and politician, in 1872. Morton advocated for the planting of trees to beautify the landscape, provide shade, and conserve soil and water resources. On April 10th, 1872, the first Arbor Day was celebrated in Nebraska, with an estimated 1 million trees planted on that day. It wasn't until 1970, however, that Arbor Day became recognized nationwide thanks to the efforts of President Richard Nixon. This move was in line with other environmentally friendly actions taken by Nixon in the 1970s, including the passing of the Clean Air Act, the Endangered Species Act, the Clean Water Act, and the National Environmental Protection Act, along with the creation of the Environmental Protection Agency. And you all thought he was just an asshole. Eeyore's Birthday is a festival held annually in Austin, Texas, inspired by the character Eeyore from A.A. Milne's Winnie the Pooh stories. The event typically takes place on the last Saturday of April in Peace District Park. People often come dressed in colorful costumes, and there are usually arts and crafts vendors and other entertainment throughout the day. Eeyore is a fictional character created by A.A. Milne, first introduced in his book Winnie the Pooh, published in 1926. Eeyore is a melancholic and gloomy donkey who is one of the central characters in Milne's story set in the 100-Acre Wood. Eeyore's birthday party began in 1963 as a spring party and picnic before the beginning of Dead Week, and that's slang for the week before college and university's final exams. Eeyore's birthday was hosted by Plan 2 students and faculty, and first led by Lloyd Birdwell, an English graduate student at the University of Texas. What was at first a small get-together of Birdwell's friends has turned into a yearly spring festival. You can't get a day more exciting than National Cubicle Day, observed on April 28th. In the early 20th century, office spaces were often large open rooms filled with rows of desks. This layout was conducive to supervising employees but lacked privacy and individual space. The concept of the cubicle, as we know it today, was pioneered by Robert Probst, a designer working for Herman Miller, a furniture company in the late 1960s. Probst aimed to create a more functional and flexibility alternative to the traditional office layout. He developed the Action Office System, which introduced modular movable partitions that could be configured to create individual workspaces. Step into my cubicle and we'll talk, all lined up like little houses where we spend a great deal of our existence. Just rows and rows and rows of little workstations with little worker bees clicking away at their keyboards day in and day out. Happy National Cubicle Day, everyone. There's a 0.0056897.5 chance this video will go viral. There's always a shot, and no better day for this to happen than Viral Video Day. Over the years, we've seen so many amazing and creative viral videos that have made us laugh, cry, and think differently about the world. From silly cat videos to inspiring speeches, these videos give us a window into different perspectives and cultures. Viral Video Day, celebrated on April 29th, is a unique occasion that honors the world of viral videos. Typically, viral videos are innocent enough, just uploaded randomly, and for a variety of reasons catch on to a mass audience. There's no real rhyme or reason to them. They're never posted to go viral, they just catch on and become their own thing. Despite the aim, most videos intended to go viral don't achieve that status. People trying to make a viral video typically fail. A viral video doesn't have that intention, it just happens to reach that status innocently enough. The original Mr. Potato Head kit was first manufactured and distributed by the Hasenfeld brothers, later known as Hasbro, in 1952. Mr. Potato Head Day is observed annually on April 30th, commemorating the date when in 1952 Mr. Potato Head became the first toy advertised on television. Mr. Potato Head was invented and developed by George Lerner in 1949. Initially, the toy consisted of a set of plastic facial features, arms, and accessories that children could insert into a real potato or other fruits and vegetables. Government safety regulations of the 1960s dictated that parts had to be less sharp, which made them less easy to puncture into potatoes. In response, Hasbro began including a plastic potato body with the toy kit. Additional safety regulations came in the 1970s, precipitating the doubling of the size of the potato in 1975, as well as an increase in the size of the accessories.